Astro Boy, Sensei, and me. An introspection on martial arts. Written and narrated by Keith Mosher. 1 is the loneliest number. Many lineage stories point to a specific individual of renown. Today, many martial art lineage tales start with the school's owner. They are the person of note, and it begins and ends with them. If you search the website of one of the schools mentioned earlier, you cannot find any lineage details. In fact, you cannot even find a rank for the primary individual. This is an increasingly common practice. Someone gets a little training here, a little there, accomplishes some notable feats, and then goes on to open a school. This is not necessarily bad. Some people are natural teachers and have amazing skills. Their notoriety in a movie or some other feat is an excellent calling card and makes the acquisition of students easy. They probably had people begging them to teach long before they opened a school. This does rub up against a few things. People with select natural abilities may never be able to impart those skills unless they happen upon someone with the same inborn talents. We all watch those internet videos of someone doing something astounding, knowing our bodies will never let us do that. It is a great siren call. But to what end? That is an individual skill not likely to be repeated. Still, that exceptional person may be able to teach something to others. We could almost put Bruce Lee in this category. He had amazing abilities, some of which were virtues of birth. Fortunately, he did have a lineage, which provided some structure. He did study Wing Chun. However, he also made deliberate attempt to set Wing Chun aside and cast himself as the masthead. What Sijo Lee promoted was himself. His school and arts lineage begins with him. To his good graces and fortune, he surrounded himself with exceptional artists who helped support and continue that promotion. I put Guro Dan Inosanto at the top of the list. It is fair to argue Guro Inosanto has become a superior martial artist to Sijo Lee. He is perhaps not as strong or as fast. He certainly does not have the same self-promotional drive nor the grand movie presence. Granted, we lost Bruce Lee early. We have no way of knowing what he would have become. As his lineage starts with him, likewise his teachings end at his demise. Guro truly picked up the mantle. He more than continued what Sijo Lee started, he added to it and enhanced it. Moreover, Guro makes a strong effort at lineage and origin histories. He is one of the finest martial art historians, at least for some arts. He knows names and understands where things come from and why. He can teach a traditional technique and its modern variations. With tradition, there is structure, a foundation. With a strong foundation, modern variation becomes more firmly rooted. A martial art should not be about an individual. It should be about a system. When a school begins from an individual of renown, teaching cobbled techniques that work for their unique abilities, what do they teach the person who does not have those abilities? Does he or she try to drive the technique home with the idea of push until it gives? Does the instructor have a tool bag they can reach into and give the student a different approach, or is the instructor stuck with the pattern that made them who they are? This is not to suggest these schools are inherently poor, but they do grow out of a narrow framework. The foundation is limited. Pulling together different techniques from different styles is a good thing. Adding diversity helps the practitioners and the arts to grow. Clearly, styles are the result of this. An individual well versed in a style expands their training by picking up something useful in another art. They begin teaching the blend and give the style a name, just as someone versed in white crane taught their techniques to someone versed in snake boxing, and thus we have Wing Chun, or so the stories go. Mr. Spock would remind us again, infinite diversity in infinite combinations. Even these stories suggest a deep base knowledge exists before the outside techniques are added. There is initially a strong base system. Long traditional lineages suggest systems molded over time by many people. Each new molding brings a new body of capabilities to the catalog of techniques. It is evolution at its best. The foundation is broad, providing an answer for almost every physical ability and every physical inability. Systems provide diverse answers. It is like a car or any other system. Quartermaster Q builds the coolest hot rod for hundreds of miles around. It is a one-off. There is no other like it, and no other car can do what it does. You cannot go out and buy that car. Moreover, you probably cannot drive it the way James Bond does. Q built it knowing Bond's preferences and abilities. Instead, you buy a car model built by many people, owned by many people, evolved over time to become a good driving system. This or that type of car feels better to you. It fits you. Judo did not fit well when I was young, a tiny kid trying to drive a tractor-trailer truck while more suited to a mini-bike. We are all attracted to the extraordinary, individuals with skills resulting from hard work but also some quality of birth, abilities rarely repeatable. Take such a person and throw in a flair for self-promotion, and everyone will notice. What can we really learn from that person other than our bodies will not allow us to do what they do? It is like watching Michael Jordan. Exceptional skills, but you are not likely to be 7 feet tall. Your reaction time, while improvable, may never be as fast as Bruce Lee's by virtue of the body he had and the body you have. These people are worth noticing. They do give us something to think about and shoot for. However, when they become idols, they become lids over us, keeping us beneath them. Enjoy them. Take from them what you can, and move on. All this is to say, there is a great deal of value in systems with generational tradition. I teach Sijo Lee's Jeet Kune Do. I also teach Wing Chun, an older, more developed system. I tend to blend a lot of traditional Wing Chun into JKD, not only because I feel it works, but also because I want to give my students a handle on a more developed system that does not grow out of the capabilities of a single, exceptional individual. Something that has gone through theme and variation over time, molded not by one, but by many. One is a lonely number.